Ooh.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Grand Rising, good people. You are tuned into Mel B's Morning Kickstart Show, and we don't wake up, we rise up. I'm your host, Mel B, bringing you affirmations, the latest news, weather, and sports. And of course, we're going to have an interview today. It's Women in Business Wednesday with our special guest, of course, no other than Miss Cookie herself. So let's get into it this morning. First things up, of course, is our affirmation of the day.
Mel,
Affirmation. Hmm?
start it over because you were doing it during the countdown.
Live. What? Oh, start over? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Grand Rising, good people. You are tuning in to Mel B's Morning Kickstart Show, where we don't just wake up, we rise up. I'm your host, Mel B, bringing you affirmations, the latest news, weather, fun facts, history, and today, of course, is Women in Business Wednesday, and we will have our special guest with the known other, everyone knows, Miss Cookie, CEO of J.A.B Entertainment. All right, so let's get into it this morning. First up is our affirmation of the day. I trust my journey even when the path isn't clear. Wow, that's a deep one for today. Um, Everyone has a journey, everyone has a testimony. Um, Even if you don't know what your path is as of yet, you're probably walking in it and don't even know it. So just continue to walk in your blessings and do what you have to do to the best of your ability. Also, I have a word of the day, and I was inspired by this word from one great man, one great artist. The word of today is faith. The meaning of the word is complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So let faith anchor you today. Sometimes doubt is just a space before clarity. All right, let's get into the weather from wherever you are this morning. New York, you are actually right now, you're foggy and 62 degrees. Los Angeles, you are going to be sunny with a high of 91 degrees. Chicago, cloudy and 75 degrees. Atlanta, mixed clouds and sun around the afternoon and a high of 83. Houston, y'all going to be hot today with a high of 96. Washington, D.C., you all are going to be sunny with a high of 83 degrees. Miami, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 89. Toronto, you all are going to be sunny with a high of 79. Vancouver, sunny with a high of 77. Bless up, Jamaica. Kingston, hot and cloudy, 74 degrees today. Montego Bay, cloudy with a high of 93. Ocho Rios, hot and 94. And Negril, cloudy with 93 as a high today. Everybody's hot somewhere. It's like I'd rather be hot than rainy, tell you honestly. Okay. Moving on. We are going to move on to our fun facts of the day. And wherever I put it, one moment. Our African American history for today. All right, September 3rd. So let's see. Well, it does not give me for September 3rd. However, African American history facts today. We'll do it that way. January 12, 1954, Nat King Cole became the first Black American to host a national TV show. The strides we have come so far. 1963, Medgar Evers pushed civil rights in Mississippi. Tenacity before it made headlines. Sorry, I get choked up a little bit about Medgar Evers. 1977, Patsy Mink became the first American woman of color elected to U.S. Congress. Wow. Valkyrie music. What about Cayman Island? I will put that in for tomorrow. How about that? I'm sorry I missed that. Okay, will do. So fun facts for today. Bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. Make that make sense. Because when you look at them, a banana does not look like a berry, but strawberries aren't. Okay. Sharks swam the oceans before trees were even a concept. Wow. Honey never spoils. Ancient tomb jars are still edible. I heard that before. That honey never spoils. But all right, just for fun, did y'all know that a cloud can weigh over 1 million pounds and still float? Could you imagine the size of that cloud? I can't. Not at all. All right, so today, like I said, is Women in Business Wednesday. And our special guest is Miss Cookie of J.A.B Entertainment. And we would like to welcome right now Miss Cookie. Yay! One moment, everyone. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, one moment while we actually have a little bit of technical difficulties right now. Miss Cookie will be with us momentarily. So another fun African American history fact that I can give you all until Miss Cookie comes on is Frederick Douglass, one of the greatest orators, Frederick Douglass, escaped from slavery to freedom today in 1838. One moment. While she comes on.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having technical difficulties over here today. How's everybody doing? Hi, Mel.
Good. Good morning. Good morning. It happens. Well, how are you doing this morning? Besides the technical difficulties?
Just a little tired, but I'm okay. You know, today is a working day, so I can't be too tired, but I'm tired.
Right. That's all right. Well, hey, it's a weekday, and that's what weekdays are for, to working and grinding. So let's get right into it. My first question up for you is, what keeps you awake at night?
A lot of thoughts in my head. Like, I guess because I have so many moving parts to business, J.A.B Entertainment and Lux Radio, and I have a show on Lux Radio. So I think it is like I think they're just the moving parts of everything that I do in business. So I'm always thinking, and when I'm thinking, it just never stops. So I think it would be, the fact that I think a lot and I can't think, and then my my life is full of phone calls and text messages, so I never really get any quiet time. So at night, I think 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is when I can focus.
Right. Because that's when a lot of people can, there's no noise, there's no kids, there's,
Hmm.
nothing but time and, yourself in thinking, you know what I mean? So tell the listeners a little bit more about J.A.B Entertainment and Lux Radio.
J.A.B Entertainment was founded in 2013, and a little bit of history behind J.A.B, what the meaning is. It is an acronym, and the acronym stands for Just About Business. I was one of the artists that I was representing at the time called me, and I guess I had missed the call that day, and he was like, "I got an idea for a name of your management company." I said, "Okay." He was like, "J.A.B Entertainment, like Just About Business is the acronym, but it also means you would jab somebody in the mouth if something goes wrong." I was like, I love it. So I've been using that name for a very long time now. And J.A.B started out with one artist. It wasn't even like I didn't have J.A.B Entertainment when I met Gabby Mo. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like me, and I walked into a studio, and Gabby was in the studio, and I had to ask Chief. Actually, Chief has a show on Lux Radio on Thursdays, but I had to ask him, like, "Who is that, bro?" He was
Mm-hmm.
like, "That's Gabby Mo." I'm like, "I don't know how I'm going to help that guy, but he's going to get my help because he's actually really good." So that's how the management part came. I didn't really think that I was a manager when I started managing Gabby Mo,
Mm-hmm.
but I did like think, okay, how can I help this guy like excel to the next level? So I started doing things, and the guy that actually gave me the name J.A.B Entertainment, he actually became an artist afterwards and gave me the name. And I was like, "Well, no, I don't think I'm a manager." Like he,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "But you're doing all management duties." So that's how I became a manager. That's the history behind J.A.B Entertainment. We've
Mm-hmm.
been a management company for a long time, and we do a lot. I do have another manager that works with me. Her name is Trina, and she manages Full Max. But
Mm-hmm.
right now it's just me and Trina that are managers. Mel B here is definitely a very valuable part of J.A.B Entertainment and Lux Radio. So I do want to mention that. And Lux Radio came about I guess in like 2016. I
Mm-hmm.
was I had some friends in radio in New York, and they called me one day and was like, "Hey, how would you like to have your own show?" I'm like, "How would you like to have your own radio station?" I'm like, "A radio station?" I was like, "You mean like I would have a show?" They was like, "No, we mean like you would have a station." I was like, "So
Mm-hmm.
I could have shows on the station?" They were like, "Yeah." So I said, "Okay, well, it's free, so I can't turn down free. If it's free, it's me."
Right.
So I took the station and tried to just learn everything I could learn about radio. And when I did that, I was able to learn a lot and work with some other people in radio, and we went on with it. Back then it was J.A.B Entertainment Radio, but
Mm-hmm.
then I changed it to Lux Radio in maybe about a year or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stopped doing it again, and then Radio MGA said, "Sis, I set up your radio station." I'm like, "Radio station? I was supposed to have a show on your station." So I don't
Right.
know why, but radio is, I guess that's where I'm supposed to be doing also. So that's the history behind those two companies. I enjoy what I do because I have a very huge passion for music, and the artists that I represent mean the world to me. Like I've said this before, that I can't just manage someone. I have to be your biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean your biggest fan. Like I would not be able to manage someone that came and said, "Hey, I need a manager and I'm willing to pay you X amount of dollars every month." I still
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't do it because it's hard to represent something that you don't believe in,
Correct.
if that makes sense. So
That makes
I
sense.
have to
Makes a lot of sense.
I actually have to be your number one fan. So I
Mm-hmm.
am Gabby Mo's number one fan. I am Shabako's number one fan. I'm Bad Bobo's number one fan. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Three Sides number one fan. I am all of my artists number one fan first.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then I am their manager.
Oh, that's awesome, and you do a very good job of that, if I may say so myself.
Thank you.
Now that we have a little bit of background of Jab Entertainment and Lux Radio, let's let the people get to know Miss Cookie. Now, my next question is, what personal values are most important to you?
Personal values, family,
Mm-hmm.
peace, and education.
Mm, mm,
And the
okay.
reason why I say education is because my mom raised me and my brother with the idea in our heads that knowledge is the key to everything. And it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
right now, what we're going through, and I'm not going to go into the politics, but as an example, what's going on in the world in the United States right now,
Mm-hmm.
in particular, Washington, D.C. Good morning, Valcure. How are you? Particularly DC. If you don't know your rights, if you haven't studied what your rights are, what the laws are, you
Mm-hmm.
could easily be picking up and taken away, with nobody knowing where you are. But
Right.
if you know your rights, they can't take you. They know
Mm-hmm.
they can't take you. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
just educating yourself on certain things, and not just in that area, but educating yourself in a lot of ways. It just makes you go further in life. Period. My mom was not a strict mother, but she was very strict about education. So, like
Mm-hmm.
normal kids went to
Mm-hmm.
school during the school year, my brother and I still was in school in the summertime. Not school, but her school. We had
Her
to read
school.
two books throughout the summer. We had to learn
Mm-hmm.
a new vocabulary word every single day. And on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
we got tested. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that. My mother kept us in programs like Upward Bound. I don't know if you guys have heard of that college program. It's for high school students, but 11th and 12th graders. But
Mm-hmm.
you go to a college on the weekends during the school year, and then in the summer you actually stay on the campus throughout the
Okay.
week. So she
Mm-hmm.
put us in things like that. So I didn't have a choice but to learn. And now that I'm grown, I'm very thankful for my mother for installing that into our brains that we have to be smart. Like I
Right.
still have tons of books. I read books. I'm in a book club with Miss Mell. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I value that. And I definitely, I said family first because I love my family. It doesn't matter. Families go through things like friends go through things. And we're not always happy with each other. But
Right.
my mother also taught me that you don't get to choose your family. So
True.
family is important to me. I'm very close to my brother. I've been friends with my brother since we were born. He was born because I'm
Mm-hmm.
older. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's been my best friend since then. And peace is important because if you don't have peace within yourself, you're not going to have peace in life, period. You have to have peace in your life first. And when you deal with people, you have to forgive people that you might not want to forgive
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for yourself. And I tell people this all the time because if you don't forgive somebody for something that they did to you, Who's losing the sleep at night? Who's got that renting space in your head? It's you.
Mm-hmm. It's
I'm not
you.
going to do that. I'm going to
Right.
turn my lights off and turn my fan on and go to sleep peacefully.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's a very good analogy, and you have told me that many a times, and I have taken that advice and I ran with it, and I feel better. You know what I mean? Because I was holding in grudges, and it's not good, and it's not healthy for you at that,
Not,
at the end of the day either. So,
not at
um,
all.
okay, moving on. Next question: what do you do to keep improving yourself?
Um, I keep learning, and I think people think when they get to a certain point you can't learn. There's always something to learn. There is always something to learn. That education thing is something that is evolving. And I used to tell people. So you know how on social media people go back and forth about things and all that stuff or whatever. So
Mhm,
I used to see young people going back and forth with people, and I might offer my 2 cents or something in a conversation, or a debate or whatever. And
mhm.
sometimes young people just think that they know everything, which is not true. Nobody knows everything.
Yeah.
So I used to say all the time, I've forgotten more than you've ever learned.
Mm.
But that does not mean that I know everything. That doesn't mean I know everything. I still learn. I'm
Yeah.
a artist manager that's been doing this, and no, I've been learning the business since before I even thought about a Gabby Mo or anything like that. I didn't have a choice. My brother's best friend, rest in peace, his best friend made me read this book that was about this thick.
Mhm.
And back then they called it the music Bible. It was everything that you needed to know about the music business. So
Okay.
today there is
Mhm.
still stuff that I learn about the music business. It evolves. Life
Yeah.
changes. I
Yes.
had to learn how to use social media just like everybody else. And social media is a huge part of the music industry now. The music industry is looking at how many followers you have on these platforms. So there's
Mhm.
always something to learn. That's how I improve myself. I make it so that I learn something every day. I like
Right.
that. I like to learn something every day. I
Yeah.
don't
It's
I don't think I know everything. I don't No one knows everything.
everything.
So
Right.
I do
Right.
that, and I find other ways. As I got older, I started like studying Buddhism. And let me explain. Buddhism is not a religion. It is a way of life. And I'm not saying that I'm a Buddhist. I'm not a Buddhist. I just studied Buddhism. So Buddhism teaches you to Buddhism teaches you that you control everything in your life.
Mhm.
So if someone says something to you that's rude and disrespectful, it's kind of you that controls that situation. You can let it go and say, that those are words. It doesn't affect me. So I'm not
Mhm.
going to change my temperament because of
Right.
that.
Right.
Or you can choose violence. So it teaches you
Yeah.
that you control your emotions.
Exactly.
You control whether you're happy or sad. You control
Mhm.
whether you're successful or you're not. You control all of that. And anybody that says I can't, that is not a word. My mother told me that is in the dictionary, but my mother told me that is not a word. Can't is not
Right.
a word.
It's not.
So
It's not.
I
Mhm.
improve myself by learning and keeping the Buddhism rules in my head.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that concept because, like you said, it's about how you react to what is being said or done to you. So,
Hi, Jim. Hey, sis. I'm just seeing that. I can't see. But anyway, thank you, sis. I know I need to rest and all that, but I'm gonna rest one day. I hope I hope I'll be successful by that time. So love
oh,
you, sis.
we're claiming that. We're claiming that. When the sun decides it wants to come right in now, or
Yep.
nobody can see me, so I'm gonna move over a little bit here. Okay, so I have another question for you.
Sure.
What is your favorite quote?
My favorite
Uh-oh. I apologize, audience. We have been having a little bit of technical difficulty this morning, so um, you're on the stage.
I am.
Yes, you are.
All right. Sorry. I was trying to. I don't know what happened there. So my favorite quote. Hmm. That's a good question. My favorite quote. It's one that probably isn't. Oh, thank you, sis. I love you, Jim. My favorite quote is probably one that
Right.
it's not positive, but it's not negative either. So I always tell people, don't let the smooth taste fool you about me, because I think
Mm-hmm.
people have this golden idea that, oh, she has the kindest heart, I can take advantage of her, I can, do it. No, you can't.
Right.
I'm a very nice person,
Mm-hmm.
but
You are.
I can be a very mean person too. If you take
Exactly.
me there, you cross the
Exactly.
line.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm just I say that all the time, but that I think that one is probably my favorite one, because literally people, they see me and they think, oh, she's pretty, she's got a great heart. I can take advantage of her. Mainly men. Don't do it.
Say don't
Don't
even
do
try it. Don't even
it. Mm-mm,
try it.
mm-mm, not
um,
at all.
okay.
Fuck around and find out.
That's what I said.
That
I like
part.
Gemini goddess is her answer.
Right. Yeah, that part. Yeah, that's another one. That's the follow-on one.
Right,
You don't
right.
let the smooth taste fool you is the calm part. And then
Right.
afterwards it'd be like, fuck around and find out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just live by that, because like I said, I think I portray a nice a nice person, and I help people all the time. And I think people try to take advantage of, they take you for granted. They take advantage of you, and some people are ungrateful when it comes to stuff. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's just one of
Mhm.
those things. Each one teach one to reach one. Yep, that too. The
That's
problem with that quote now, I used to actually love that quote, each one teach one. But the problem with that quote is people don't want to learn.
mm-hmm.
Today, the generation today is not the generation that I grew up in, because
Right.
people don't want to learn. They don't want you to tell them anything. They don't want you to, even in the music industry, it's a whole lot of artists out here that are great artists, and they think they're doing it, but they're not registered with royalty companies. They're not, their actual stage name is not registered. They're not doing things. But and when I try to, hey, are you collecting royalties? Yeah, I'm set up the way I'm supposed to be. Are you collecting royalties? Are you signed up with ASCAP or BMI? They'd be like, yeah, I'm with BMI. I'm like, are you logging your performances? What do you mean? So each one teach one is a great quote, but it
Mhm.
really does not apply to today's generation. They don't want to learn anything. I
Right.
hate to say that, but I said it.
Yeah. And I agree with that because another thing is that nobody wants to read.
At all.
Nobody wants to read. It's very rare I see people, with a book in their hand. I'm seeing everybody with their phone in their hand or a tablet in their face. I mean, even kids. I mean, you have kids young as, 2, 3 years old holding a phone in their hand. They should be holding a book in their hand. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
There's nothing wrong with, reading, instead of wanting to read just a post every day, on a social media platform, pick up a book. You know what I mean? You can't learn everything in life on social media, and you shouldn't, you know what I mean? But then
And young
it
people will
also
probably
goes
be
back.
like, Young people will probably be like, a book? What is that?
What is that?
Literally.
Exactly.
People,
Exactly.
they don't utilize the libraries anymore. They don't
Mm-mm.
read. They like to press
No.
play and watch
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And
Yeah.
that's just what the world is today.
And this AI isn't making it no much better. We ain't even gonna go into that, but
Don't be
AI
talking
is
about
making.
AI. Hey, don't be talking about AI. I'm defensive when it comes to AI, okay? I use AI, and I'm going to tell you, I hope Gemini is still in here, because Gemini was the first person that her and Ray were the first two people that I knew that were using AI, and Gemini just started like focusing on it.
Uh-huh.
I, I literally, she started focusing on it. One day she was like, damn it, I forgot to. I'm not even going to say that online. I don't want her to get in trouble in school or anything. But literally, what she did on AI, I was like, "There's no fucking way." Excuse my French, you guys, but I was literally like, "There's no way."
Mm-hmm.
And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, 2 seconds, literally." I'm like, "Wow." So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that, because that stuff is going to make the world, the global dumbing down even worse. I'm not doing AI. So I was against it for a while. But being a business owner, I can't live without AI. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely, Gemini fell down the rabbit hole way faster than I did, way before I did. But now I have to. I'm serious. Can't talk about AI. As a business owner, AI is a lifesaver. I promise you
Yeah.
it is. It is a
Yeah.
lifesaver. Things that you thought you couldn't do,
Mm-hmm.
or things that you thought, damn it, I'd have to hire somebody to do that. You can do
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh.
Seriously.
Yeah. 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 It's AI can put a lot of people out of a job. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you have writers, you have uh, CPAs, you have anything that can be done in an office. You
Yep.
know, they dang near could be a lawyer at this point. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Only thing I see safe is the medical field because you need people hands on for that. Everything else, ask AI. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that one. I agree. I won't say anything bad about AI ever again.
And like I said, it is like, it's a gift and a curse, in my opinion, because like I said, it stops now our children, like, what are they learning? That,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
child today do you know that actually can write in cursive?
Not correctly.
They don't teach them that in school. They have computers.
That's true.
It's a
That's true.
requirement to have laptops. The actual public schools, I don't know how they do it anywhere else, but in Maryland, they give the children computers
Oh,
to use, during, but they have to return them,
yeah.
of course. It's just like
Right,
having
right.
books. But
Uh-huh.
that's the point I'm making. They used to give us books to learn, and we
Right.
still have books, but, or the kids still have books, but they're required to have a computer. They don't learn the things that we used to have to learn
Wow.
manually. We didn't have
Right,
computers
right,
when I was
right.
in school.
No, no, not at all. Not at all.
There
You
were
barely can use your
computers. I'm not
calculator.
that old. There were computers. Let me correct myself. I'm not ancient, but we were not given laptops in
No,
school.
not at all. Not at all. Mm-mm. I mean, and we didn't. I remember not even having a computer lab in school until I was in high school. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even really a lab. It might have had maybe 3 computers in it, but you had to have permission to go use it. You know what I mean? Everything
What
else we had to write out everything. So what yeah, I agree with you now. They might have a book or two, something special like a workbook or something that they have to write in. But otherwise, yeah, everything is on a computer. They're doing assignments and downloading their homework to teachers online and yeah, so it has come a long way. And I hope I'm around to see what the future holds. They
mm,
probably ain't even gonna have school. They'll be at home learning, you know what I mean, at this point. And how the world is now, you got a lot of people scared to send their kids to school, and which
because
would.
some of them are kind of slow too. And I hate to say that, but it's literally, there's literally some type of global dumbing down going on. Like, sometimes I just be looking at people, Who has a day job at nighttime? I'm just putting that. I'm sorry, but literally, I'm just saying. Listen to. I don't understand people sometimes. Like that doesn't even make sense. If you have a day job at night, you have a night job, right? Or is it me? I mean, no.
Okay.
Who's on social media and they scroll on something that I know maybe it's just me though. If I scroll on something and I don't agree with it or I'm not interested in it, I keep scrolling. I don't
Right.
comment. I'm not doing that. I don't do that. I just don't understand. Like if it doesn't interest you, act like it doesn't interest you. What is
Yeah.
the I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So
have no idea.
social media has become a whole nother reality show. I'll put it like that. It's
That's
a
unreal.
reality show, and it's there's a lot of platforms I stay away from. A lot of pages I stay away from because of that. Once you get a certain age, you ain't with all that drama. You're not with that. That doesn't excite us. It's more of what we can learn. And I personally can say I have learned a lot from social media regarding African American history per se. There's a lot of I didn't know, you know what I mean. But what it does
Hmm.
is that it piques my interest to research it, because I
Hmm.
have grandkids and I don't want them growing up without knowing where they came from, where their ancestors came from,
Hmm.
because they're not learning it in school. They're learning just Martin Luther King or a little bit of Rosa Parks. There's a ton more of what African Americans have contributed to this world. And
Oh yeah.
it's sad that a lot of our kids don't know. I mean, for example, last year I asked my grandson, who's in high school, did he know who Emmett Till was? And he said no.
Yeah,
And that
this
right there prompted me to be more active in their learning as far as history. Learn what they're going to teach you, the minimum, but always be a step ahead and more advanced in your culture and of knowledge of your culture. you know
well that was the reason my mom sent us before I get into that. I would like to send a special shout out to my daddy. My daddy watched your show yesterday and the whole show, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure he's watching now. Hi, Daddy. I love you. So that's why my mother sent us to Upward Bound programs, because in school, that is what we learned. We learned about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and things like that, but we didn't go deep into it. So I knew
Mhm.
who Malcolm X was in high school. Like I knew who he was, but I didn't understand what he did
Exactly.
until I went to Upward Bound. They made us read the autobiography of Malcolm X. And then I was like, I'm not reading this. Daddy,
Mhm.
I'm grown now. You can't be mad at me. But I was like, I didn't read it until I got out of Upward Bound. And
Uh-huh.
I actually just started getting into reading books. So I read the book on my own, and I'm like, oh my God, that book actually made me start reading other books that were like nonfiction. I
Mhm.
still read nonfiction, and people be looking at me like, what is it that did you read? Like, I don't know if you guys have read Revolutionary Suicide. I was on the train one day and somebody was like, are you thinking about suicide? I'm like, it's about Huey Newton. What is going on in the world today? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand.
That's
So
the
I
only
don't
year
know.
that you picked up on.
Right. Like people who I don't know if kids will even know who he is,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
I
true.
agree with that. That I agree that kids need to learn it. And is the problem is if they're going to learn, Mel,
Mhm.
somebody has to figure out a way to put it on video, because if they put it on video, they're gonna
They'll watch
watch it.
it.
But
Mhm.
if they
Yeah.
have to read it, they're not going to. They're
No.
not.
No. No. And that's and it's not even, you know, limited to the children. Adults
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? There's adults too that, and they might have, a limited attention span. However, if you do a video for 10 seconds, you might catch their attention. Anything
Mhm.
past that, they're like, this is boring. Scroll again. Scroll again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you have to catch, someone's attention within the first 10 seconds or you're gonna lose them. So
Oh,
um
absolutely.
yeah. All right, so let's move on to another question. Who are the three people who have been most influential to you?
My mom is four. All four of my parents. My mom, my dad, my stepmother, and my stepfather. Um, and I will have to add my brother. I know you said three, but literally those people. My dad. I keep saying that I'm going to write a book, and I just don't know where to start because I think it would be two different books. But my dad. My dad is one of the most resilient, headstrong, kind, but he's a Leo. I'm gonna leave that there. He's kind, but he's a Leo. So you know how we are. We're kind, but if you
Yeah,
cross the line, we're not
exactly.
kind.
Exactly.
My
Exactly.
dad is just I always say this, but he's my hero. You know what I mean? And my mother is my hero. She and
Hmm.
my dad taught me or made me who I am. And of course, naturally, they had me. So I mean, they too. But if I
Right.
had to choose three outside of my actual parents, I would say Martin Luther King,
Hmm.
Malcolm X,
Hmm.
and Barack Obama.
Three strong man, three alphas. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. They're
And
very they were teachers, motivators, and definitely blueprints of what a man is.
a leader as well, like a
Mhm.
definition of what a leader should be. And I actually would
Right.
like to add in, and I probably should have said her first for women's sake, but Kamala Harris, I
Hmm.
just got chills down my body. Like who's done what she's done in life as a woman,
That's all.
which is why they cheated her out of this election. And I'm gonna say that without open in the open, they cheated her out of this election. She won the election. But
Almost.
because she is a woman, two things, because she is a woman and she's black, they wasn't nothing to happen. And it was more so the women thing or whatever. Now, I'd
Yeah.
like to also bring up the reason that people didn't want to vote were a lot of black men voted for Trump and not her. The thing was just she locked up black men. She locked up a lot of different people, not just black men. It was kind of like her job. Like she was
Right.
a prosecutor. She was a
Right.
U.S. attorney.
That.
That's what she was supposed to do. If you break the
Hmm.
law, you going to jail. Like I don't understand what people didn't know about understand about that. If you
Right.
break the law, you're going to go to jail. If I break the law, if I walk out my house today and break the law, if she was in office here or she was a prosecutor here, she going to lock me up. It didn't
Right.
matter if you were a man or a woman, black or white or whatever. She was gonna like that was her job.
Right.
Her
Right. Right.
job was to like to prosecute people. So
Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
get it. I respect her. I think she did work out. She worked her way up to be who she is, and I definitely respect her. And Michelle Obama.
Yes. Yes. Can't forget about Miss Obama. Okay. All right. Tell us about a time you felt like quitting and what motivated you to continue.
I feel like quitting every day. And I mean that so severely because I've been working so hard at a lot of things and something you know how they say Murphy's law, if something can go wrong it will,
You will.
and
Yeah.
that is definitely a thing because if it can go wrong it definitely will. And when you're actually a business owner, people will be running around here talking about they a CEO real loosely. It's not easy. I'm not gonna pretend like it's easy, and I definitely don't even tell people I'm a CEO. I might tell you, yeah, I own a radio station, but that's not easy. It's
Right.
hard.
Right.
And I hate to say it's hard. You're trying to get me out of saying that, but it's a struggle sometimes. And w- for instance, I just went through this whole process of trying to get Lux Radio, the audio part, Lux Radio, a app in the Google Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
And I think only you may know that I was just like at one point I was just like, I don't need this app. I don't need it. I just don't
Right.
need it this bad. You know what I mean? But I just kept going because I don't like to be defeated.
Right.
So I think when I feel like giving up, that part of me pops in like, I'm not letting this beat me. I'm doing this because I
Exactly.
feel like I can't do it. You know what I mean? My mom
Mm-hmm.
always said, don't let anybody tell you can't do something. If they tell you
Right.
can't do it to prove them wrong.
To prove
So
them
I
wrong.
I,
Yeah.
I have to prove myself wrong every day. Like I be saying, I can't do this. And then I be like, mommy said, don't say can't.
You say can't.
So I just do it because I don't like to feel defeated. That's why I've
Mm-hmm.
built websites because I don't like to feel defeated. I've
Right.
created things that I never thought I would create. I do graphics and stuff now with thanks to AI. I don't be doing the work. Thank you,
Mm.
AI, for I could pretend to be smart sometimes. No, I am smart, but AI helps with a lot of stuff in business. But
Exactly.
I do feel like quitting a lot when you own a business. It's hard, and I'd like to throw this out there for people who really aren't doing any business. I'm not going to name any names, but if you own a business, you don't make money right away. You're going to lose
Right.
money before you ever make money. That
Right.
part is a struggle. That part makes me want to give up because I don't
Mhm.
have a whole lot of money. I
Yeah.
work every day, a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 6, but I work a job every day.
Hmm.
But I definitely can't. I can't give up because this is what my dream is. My dream is to own some things that probably are like, I'm not going to say it's unachievable. I'm never going to say that. But I
Hmm.
don't, I'm not I want some red bottoms and a Gucci purse woman. I want a Winnebago and a yacht. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yes.
So
Most
I'm
definitely.
go ahead.
No, I was saying I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, I just don't think like everybody else. So that part makes me get through I can't do this. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
understand that it takes money to make money, and I understand that you're going to lose money before you ever make money. So
Right.
I just have to keep the course, but that does make me want to quit sometimes though.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm not a quitter.
I
Quitters,
want and
that's another quote that I would say is my favorite. Quitters never win and winners never quit.
that's right. That's right. That's right. And quit is not even in Jab Entertainment's vocabulary, nowhere in agreement, paperwork, nothing. And long as I'm around, can't and quit are not allowed in either of our vocabulary. So I'm not going to let you quit no matter what. So moving on. Last question. What advice can you give someone who is just starting out in a career in music or business as a woman?
So you mean like I'm giving a woman advice?
Yes, starting out in trying to get a business going or in the music business.
I would say that as a woman, you have to have really, 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 really tough skin, a tough exterior, because
Mhm.
women are Kamala Harris. Um, women have fought for equal rights for a long time, and we're still doing that. When I first started managing artists, I didn't know that like women. I love music, but I never experienced the business side of it. I didn't know that like women had this much of a problem in the music industry. And I'm not just talking about artists, um, people women that are that dance in videos, people like me. There are not a whole lot of female managers, but they're starting to be. I don't think that they're real managers, but if you're going to
Mhm.
learn, I would say first, if you're going to be in a business, whether it be music or not, learn the business first before
Right.
you say this is what I do. I had
Okay.
to learn the business before I could ever be a manager. And
Mhm.
when I learned the business, I wasn't thinking about being a manager. So I would
Mhm.
say that, and I would also say that having tough skin is important because you're gonna have issues. I'm not gonna lie to you. For instance, um, I love men, and there are a lot of good men that would never do this. But in the music industry, there are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing,
Mhm.
and they target women. Like I've literally been looking at a guy like, "Are you serious? Do you know how many guys I have in my family? What is wrong
Mhm.
with you?" But
Right.
it's I think they think that we're inferior to them in the business. I don't know, in business, period.
Mhm.
No. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I have nothing against men. I love y'all. I love all y'all. You know it. Heart to love. But um women think differently. So they are, I think, easier people to make it to success.
Mhm.
But we're just given a hard time. So you have to have tough exterior. You have to be resilient. If you get
Most
shot
definitely.
down in something in business, you have to bounce back and be like, I'm not
Mhm.
stopping. You know what I mean? Because if you do, you're always going to feel inferior to everyone else. So you have to one, be smart, educate yourself on what it is that you're doing. You have to have
Mhm.
a tough exterior, and you have to be resilient, and you have to understand how business works. Make sure
Right.
that you're doing everything and all the steps to making your business legal. I don't just say I have a business. I have a legal LLC. Two
Mhm.
up. So
Mhm.
do things the right way. You know what I mean? And if you don't know something, open a book. It's spelled BOOK, and there are little things that you can open and have pages in them, just in case y'all didn't know that. Okay, read the book. Don't laugh at me, Mel. I'm just trying to explain. It's a book. Okay, but that's what I would advice I would give.
Okay. Okay. Well, we want to thank you for coming on and sharing who you are, who J.A.B Entertainment is, who Lux Radio is, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And please
I
come back soon up to
I
the
sure
stage.
I sure will. Shout out to everybody that was watching. I can't see who is watching, but bless up yourselves, Gemini. I love you, sis. I love you, Dad. And thank you, Valcor. Those are the only three people that I knew were tuned in.
We're
So
watching.
everybody
Yeah.
else, bless up yourselves. And thank you, Mel, for all that you do and doing these morning shows and making them different, because, we watch the news and everything every day. And it's kind of like all you hear is depressing, who
Mhm.
got killed and this and that and
Mhm.
the other. And it's depressing. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you putting a spin on news and weather. You know what I mean? You make it a positive thing with the morning affirmations, and you also, touch on things that history, like the Black history facts. I love it. I love what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Good.
All right.
All
You
right.
have a
Thank you for
blessed
having
day.
me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh, that was an awesome interview, everyone. Miss Cookie is very, very special to me in many ways. She's taught me a lot, and I really appreciate her for that. And I'm looking forward to working with her um, for to infinity. You know what I mean? I'm one of those. You my friend, you my sister. I'm ride or die. So we're gonna continue to do this and make it the best that it can be. Period. Y'all know me. Period. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with today's headlines per city. So here we go. New York governor, excuse me if I don't pronounce names right. Um, I try. So in New York, Governor Hochul has officially designated September as Suicide Prevention Month, spotlighting statewide initiatives that aim to lead nationally in reducing these tragic losses, according to Kathy Hochul. That's awesome. Los Angeles. A local nonprofit is inviting communities to contact to connect, excuse me, offering free full moon hikes, sound baths, yoga, and stargazing, all under the city skyline at no charge. That is according to WLTX. In Chicago, we have the city just recorded a historic drop in shooting incidents. Shooting victims this year are at their lowest since records began, signaling a safer streets across the board, according to the New York Post. And that is a big feat for Chicago, let me tell you. Atlanta, new ways to reset this September. Savvier plant-based treats, rooftop vibes, and free outdoor fitness classes are lighting up the wellness scene right across the metro. That's according to the Washington Post. In Houston, we have the Mark Cuban Foundation, in partnership with AI experts, has launched a free AI boot camp for high school students, bringing future-minded tech opportunities straight to the classroom. That is according to finance.yahoo.com. Washington, D.C. D.C.'s mayor, I love him. I love him, has taken the lead in blending local safety with federal coordination, keeping the Emergency Operations Center active 24/7 to ensure public trust while maintaining stability. So far, crime is down significantly under this approach, and that is according to apnews.com. Miami. During the Labor Day celebration, Miami-Dade mayor declared pride in union and labor achievements, an uplifting rally pointing to place workers center stage. That is according to WLRN.org. Toronto. Toronto's financial scene is lighting up. Scurb Incorporated just posted positive Q3 results, boosting optimism for tech sectors across the city. That is according to newsfilecorp.com. Vancouver, a local company, Region 3, delivered a major quarterly business update, and some eco-conscious investors are taking notice. Positivity in green tech vibrates on. That's according to newsfilecorp.com. Jamaica. Kingston. The city's revival is real. The Our City Kingston initiative is rolling forward, bringing its downtown restoration efforts to life. That is according to the Jamaica Observer. Montego Bay, an architectural peak at something new. The Pinnacle, a brand new waterside development built on a tranquil lagoon, is showing off Caribbean modern design. That is according to openpr.com. And finally, we have Ocho Rios. Local schools are stepping up. Ocho Rios Primary has launched a literary and numeracy initiative aimed at giving students a serious head start. And that is according to Jamaica Informative Services. All right, everyone. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning. And I also want to once again thank Miss Cookie for coming in and letting us know all about J.A.B Entertainment and Lux Radio. Today is Wednesday, what people call Hump Day. I want everybody to go out there and make it a great day. Make it a positive day. You are special. You are important. And you are loved. I am beautiful. I am resilient. These are things you say to yourself to continue through your day if you need to. Closing affirmation: I flow with energy, grace, and purpose. Keep those in mind, everyone. So until tomorrow morning, have a great day and make it special. Period.